Okay, so let's start. So, like we are going to talk about, all about the Salesforce and mainly about Salesforce Marketing Cloud. But when we hear this term called Salesforce, so what, comes to our mind is that, okay, there is one organization by the name Salesforce, right? Now Salesforce has launched its product and by the name Salesforce only. So they have this stack of different applications, different softwares, and we call it like Salesforce stack or Salesforce bundle of applications in which we have multiple products. So one of the product is called Marketing Cloud, another product is called Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Community Cloud. So they have different products. Now we'll understand why we have different products with the help of an example and how all these products fit into our needs or maybe a company's need. So all of you are from the like sales background, right? So what generally happens, right? Whenever let's say there's a car company and we go over there, we want to purchase a new car, and we inquire about a new car. Okay, so what they do, they create a lead for us. So they take all our information, like first name, last name, email address, mobile number, or like when do you want to, when are you planning to purchase a new car? What is your budget? And these kind of things they create, record for us in their database, and this is how they can come back to us later, like later in the future ki, if we do not purchase the car right away, and then they might call us back that like if you are planning to buy a car, there's some offers going on or something like that, right? So now once we have purchased a car, we become their customer, we get our customer ID. Now they have to have a software or maybe a system, a database in which they can store all this information, right? Maybe our personal information, our customer ID, what did we purchase, when did we purchase, and the different terms and conditions and everything has to be stored in one system, right? And these sales representatives, who are working all these leads, who are working with all these customers, so they have to access to the database, and they are not a database administrator, right? So they need one UI, so they need one application through which they can interact with the system and they can create a lead easily, that okay, this is the customer or this is the lead who came to us for the inquiry, so we created a lead. And we can also write like if the test drive was conducted or not, and when the test drive was happened, something like that, so we can have all this data stored in our database. uh, so Salesforce says, कि, okay, if you have sales operation and these kind of operations, we have one product, we have one application that you can purchase, that is called Sales Cloud, and you can manage all your sales data in one system, and you can maintain all the data in one application. Now let's say after sales we have this service. Mm, So if the customer, let's say if I purchase a new car and if I face any problem in music system or anything like that, then I can call their customer service and then I say like, hey, I'm facing this issue. So what will they do? They also need one application, a different application in which they can, log the customer issues, they can log customers query, and they can follow up like if the query is resolved or not, or maybe if you want to follow up, we raise this query, when the technician will come, or if the technician is coming or not, like what is the status of the ticket, is it it's still open, or like if you want to escalate the issue. So all these things has to be maintained, has to be stored in one application. So all these customer care representatives, they also need one different application. So for that like for that Salesforce has Service Cloud, a different product. Now, similarly, if they want to, if a company wants to do marketing, maybe if they want to communicate or engage with any of the customer, uh, like for any purpose. So let's say if they are having a new offer and they want to inform about this new offer to all their customers, to all their existing customers, what they can do, they can have a list of all these customers and they can send this promotional email or SMS in which they can say that okay, this is the offer going on, and if you want to avail this offer, visit the nearby store, something like that, right? So they can inform everybody about a new product that they are launching, or maybe a new offer, or maybe if they want to inform, let's say we raise this customer service, right, a query, and then always what they do, they send us this feedback email. that, okay, how did you like our service? Would you like to rate our customer service representative and these kind of things, right? So in any way, or like the purpose could be anything, but if you want to engage with the customer, if you want to communicate with the customers, there the marketing cloud as a product comes into the picture. Similarly, we have different products in Salesforce, which caters the different requirements of the client. So we have sales, we have service, we have marketing, commerce, and different clouds that we have. But mainly, we are going to focus on marketing cloud, where we are going to learn that how we can interact, how we can engage, how we can communicate with our customers, right, in a different way. So that is all we are going to learn in terms of marketing cloud. And when it comes to sales and service cloud, we are going to maybe touch base on these clouds as and when needed.
Just want to check, like, like now we are talking about this marketing cloud, right? So I just want to understand, through this, can we generate lead, or is it is always like more
Yeah,
on
yeah, we can generate the lead as well.
that is also taken care in this, or it is only like, post lead generation, the transactional part is only taken care on this.
I mean, as part of this course, we will be learning that how we can generate the lead. But marketing cloud as a tool or as a product is not meant for lead generation. But yeah, technically we can do it, but it is not meant for that.
Okay, understood. Okay.
So let's talk about the course content a bit. So in marketing cloud, we have different applications. Let me share. So I hope you guys can see the marketing cloud tool now.
Yes.
So this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, and we have different studios on my left hand side, and then on my right hand side we have a couple of builders, right? And this is the home page. So once you log in, you will be redirected to this particular page. That is the home page of Marketing Cloud, and then we'll be navigating to different studios or the builders to perform a task. So we'll be talking about the email studio, mobile studio, web studio, analytics builder, and these things. So let me just walk you through the course content. So first we have first we have the email studio, in which we are going to learn that how we can, store the content of the subscribers, or how we can store the subscriber list in list of the data extensions. So basically, whenever you send the email through any tool, or maybe through Gmail or through any other platform, basically there are three steps, right, or three things that we require. So the first thing is that we need the list of the recipients to whom we want to communicate. The second thing is that we need the sender's information, right? That the form address that we are using to send the email. And the third thing is the email itself that needs to be delivered. So we are going to learn that we have list and data extensions where we are going to store the customer's data, or maybe the email address, first name and last name. So, and after that, we will be learning that how we can send the email, how we can log the email, how we can track the email, and these things. So we are going to learn different types of signs that we have: A/B testing, tracking, how we can track the emails, and these things. Next, we have the contact builder. So contact builder is all about the contacts. So here we have the contact builder. So here we are going to learn that how we can create a new contact, how we can manage the contact, and if you want to take a look at the 360-degree view of the contact, which is the main feature of the contact builder. So let's say we have this e-commerce website. Let's take an example of Amazon.com, and we are storing the customer's information here, right? We are storing all the information in Marketing Cloud. So what is the personal information, like first name, last name, email address, how many orders that customer has placed, right? The different order details in last 1 year, how many orders that he have, like this customer has placed a refund for all these orders, right? So this kind of information, if you want to take a look at all the information in just one page or in just one view, then what we can do, we can use this a feature called all contacts. So there we are going to see the 360-degree view of the contact, and it is not just limited to the data, but we can also see the different kind of communication that we have sent to this customer. um, so in Marketing Cloud, not only the email communication we can send, but we have the couple of different channels, right? We have mobile studio in which we are going to see that how we can send the SMS messages, push notifications, or maybe the social studio and these kind of things. So if you want to take a look at the different kind of channels that we have used to communicate with the customers and how this customer has responded, what all information is related to a particular contact. So whatever you can think of about a particular customer, you can view, you can see all these things in one single page. So that is like 360-degree view, or we can say the all contacts. Here we're going to see all the contacts, and for a particular contact we can see the entire information related to that particular contact. So how many orders that he has placed, or what are the different kind of communication we have sent, how many emails that he has opened all this while, and or like whatever information that we have related to this particular customer in our database. And then we are going to learn the different data sources. So it says that what are the different data sources from where the data is coming into Marketing Cloud. So we'll be learning about the imports and everything. So we can import the data from our local desktop or from the FTP server as well. And the data sources tells us like from where the data is coming. So for example, if the data is coming from a integrated system like Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, or if the data is coming from a local desktop, or if the data is coming from a like a different file or different server. So that is something we can manage, and that is something we can see that from the data is coming. And then we'll be taking a look at the data designer and the contact deletion. So these kind of things. Next, we have a content builder. So whenever we want to communicate with our customer, first of all, we have to build the content, right? It could be an email or SMS message or push notification. So whatever way we choose to communicate with the customer, we have to build the, or we have to design the content first. So we'll be learning the content builder. So in content builder, we are going to see the different type of content blocks that we have. So when you see an email message, it is made up of different blocks, right? So if you receive an email message, a promotional email message, it has some images, it has some text, it has some buttons, or maybe some social media links in the footer, for so that we can follow the organization on the social media channels. So we are going to see the different type of content blocks that we have, how we can use all different type of content blocks and create and design one email message. What are the different types of email messages that we have? What are the different types of SMS messages that we have, and push notification, these kind of things. So content builder is all about creating the content, building the content, and then managing, deleting if you want to share the content with another business unit. So all these things we can do. So this is what we will learn as part of the content builder. Emails, templates, and these things. Next we have Mobile Studio. So Mobile Studio contains, few applications inside it. One is Mobile Connect, Mobile Push. So Mobile Connect is all about sending the SMS or the MMS messages. So if you want to communicate via SMS, then we are going to use the Mobile Connect. And Mobile Push is used to send the push notification to the customers. But for the push notifications, the customers, must have installed our application on their mobile devices. Then only we can communicate with them. For the to send them the SMS, we need their phone number. So if we have their phone number, we can send them the SMS messages. And for the mobile push, if they have this app installed on their mobile device, then we can send them the push notification. So we will be learning that what are the things that are required to send the SMS message. How we set up the entire system or to send the SMS and everything. And same goes for the mobile push notification. So how we can create a mobile push notification, how we can make it dynamic, how we can personalize a push notification, and these kind of things. Okay, and next we have analytics builder. So once we have communicated via, let's say, email or mobile studio, or maybe any through different communication channel, The next thing is to build the reports. We want to analyze that how this campaign is performing, how this email is performing, whether it is performing as per our expectation or not. And if it is not performing as per our expectation, then maybe we need to make some changes. We also want to analyze the KPIs, maybe what is the open rate, click rate, bounce rate for this particular campaign. And if the campaign is not getting us more engagement rate, or maybe not getting us more open rate and click rate, then maybe we need to make some changes in the subject line, or maybe we need to change something, right? So, and we also want to compare the different campaigns so that we can see that, okay, which campaign is driving us more business. So we will see that how we can generate a report. So we don't need to do anything in that. I mean, it is just a simple configuration. So we can choose a type of report that we want to generate, maybe a A/B test or account summary, and then we just click on create button, and then it gives us a report, which that we'll be talking about in detail, the different types of reports that we have. So we have the email reports, and we have this mobile studio reports. So that is something we'll be talking about. Next, we have Automation Studio. So in Automation Studio, as the name says, we are going to automate the activities. So we will learn that how we can, send the email, how we can import the data. But all these things, if you have to do again and again, let's say every day, then it would be really difficult, right? And it is not a recommended way to do the same thing again and again manually. So for that, what we have is Automation Studio, in which we can design one automation and build one automation, and we are going to have couple of activities here. So let's say this one. So we can place different activities over here, and we can trigger this automation. Once this automation starts, it picks up one activity, executes this, move on to the next activity, execute this, move on to the third activity, and execute this, right? Now we can have number of activities here. So we have all these activities that what we can automate. So it's not like that we can automate everything. I mean, if you say that I want to create a data extension, every day, a new data extension. Data extension is nothing but a table, right? So if you want to create a data extension through the automation, so that is not possible. So we'll be learning that what all things are possible through the automation and what we can achieve. So if you want to process the data, or if you want to, you know, um, process the data using SQL query, that we can do it. If you want to send an email, if you want to import the data, right? So these are the things that we can automate. So we'll be learning with the help of different use cases that how we can build an automation and how we can use all these activities in different scenarios. Next, we have Cloud Pages. So I think you were talking about the lead generation, right? So Cloud Pages is something where we can generate the lead. So these are nothing but the web pages only. So we can design and build our own web pages. And whenever we build a web page or a landing page, it gives us a publicly accessible URL. Now this URL, we can share it with our customers, so that they can access it. So for example, let's talk about this one. So whenever we create a cloud page, or we can say a landing page, so we'll be talking about the difference between a cloud page and landing page. But for now, let's understand, like if we build a landing page, it gives us this kind of a URL. Now, when we copy this, and what we can do, we can include that URL in our website, and we can say that if you are interested in signing up, or maybe if you're interested in that offer, please fill this form, right? So they can fill in their information, click on submit, and then this information will be stored here in Marketing Cloud. So this form is designed and developed by Smart Capture content block. So we did not, code, and we did not use the HTML and CSS to design this. So basically, it is a out of the box functionality using which we can create one form. So we will learn that how we can create the forms, how we can design the web pages and these things. So the cloud pages are used mainly for, for the like data capture if you want to create a form and these kind of things. And the another purpose is, so let's say if we are sending, the information through email. And let's talk about, it is a, a bakery company. And now what they want to do is that they want to share the recipes, right? Anybody has any doubt? Yeah, I
No,
can.
Rahul. And we have another participant who has joined. His name is
Okay.
Mr. Sabrinath.
Yeah. Hello, Sabrina. Welcome to the session.
Hi.
Yeah. So we're just talking about, the course content. So towards the end of the session, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask, or maybe like in between the session. So generally we use it, if you want to share more information with the customers. So let's say we have a company like which deals with the food products and all. So what they want to do, they want to share the recipes that how can you use our food products, how what you can do, what you can prepare out of all these food products that we are selling off. So they can have this link um, in the email message itself, and that button says, let's say, I view recipe, or maybe what do you like, get a new recipe or something like that. So when they click on this button, they will be redirected to a landing page where we have all this information. Because in email, we cannot have more details, we cannot have a very lengthy email, because that will um, like not resolve its purpose. So what we can do, we can have that link, and then the link will be opened by the customer, and then they can see the entire recipe. So we'll be understanding the different use cases, how we can use the landing pages. But yeah, so these are nothing but the web pages, and we'll see how we can use them. Next, we have Journey Builder. So understand this Journey Builder as a customer journey itself. So you must have seen. So if we'll talk about a general journey, right? Not talking about the marketing cloud one, but when we say ki I'm going on a journey, so what I do, or what I really mean is that, I'm traveling from one place to another, right? So a journey always starts, from some point, and it always has to end at some other point, right? So in customer journey also, um, we are going to learn that how a journey for the customer starts and then how it ends. So if we'll talk about whenever you place an order on e-commerce website, so you are entering into a journey. Now, whenever you place an order, you will get this order confirmation email that your order has been successfully placed. And now, once your order is out for delivery, you get another notification. Once it is delivered, you get another notification, right? So once it is successfully delivered and they have sent you the final communication, maybe your order has been like delivered successfully, would you like to rate us, would you like to rate our service or something like that, right? And now it is the end of the journey. So we will understand the different use cases of the journey. Let me show you this thing as well. So any practical use case that you can think of where you're initiating something, and then at some point it is going to end. Maybe let's say we place this order, or maybe um, if we'll talk about like let's say traffic challan, right? So what happens, like whenever we our traffic challan is generated, right, we are entering into a journey, and then we keep receiving these SMS messages, or maybe any kind of communication. And then once we have paid the challan, then these communications will stop coming. So this is how a journey can start and can end. So we'll be understanding the different data sources from where the contact, or from where the customer can enter into the journey. So this could happen that we have stored the data in the data extension, and from where we are pulling the data into the journey, or from where the contacts or the customers are entering into the journey. And then once they have entered into the journey, they are going to go through few of the activities, right? maybe we want to send them an email or maybe SMS, or maybe we want to evaluate if it is a payment reminder journey. So if the payment is due, let's say before the payment due date, like 10 days prior to the due date, we want to send them the email that okay, it is just 10 days left, and if you want the uninterrupted service, so please um, pay the payment before the due date. So now it is 10 days prior. So we are going to use the decision split to evaluate whether they have made the payment or not yet. Now, if they have not made the payment, we are going to send them the reminder email. And if they have made the payment, then we are going to send them the thank you email. Similarly, we are going to have, after let's say every 2 days, we are going to evaluate that whether they have made the payment or not. But after 10 days, like when the due date occurs, the journey is going to end for all the customers. Now we will be sending them key, okay, you have not made the payment, and then this we have canceled your subscription, or your subscription is over, something like that, and now you cannot enjoy. So if you want to resubscribe, or if you want to enjoy this service again, so please pay the payment, something like that, right? So you can think of a journey, any practical use case in which it is going to start from one point time and then it is going to end. So we'll be learning that how we can make the contact enter into the journey, and we are going to do different things, and then the contact finally is going to exit from the journey. So let me show you. So here we have different entry sources that we can use. Data extensions, API one that we'll be talking about. And then here we have different flow control, which basically decides the flow of the contact, right? So we talked about the payment reminder yeah, communication. So if they have made the payment, they will be routed to a different path. And if they have not made the payment, they will be rerouted to a different path. And then the different messaging activity, if you want to send them the WhatsApp communication or email or SMS, so these kind of things. So we'll be talking about all these things when we talk about the journey. Next we have the mobile cloud, sorry, marketing cloud connect, in which we are going to see that how we can integrate two different systems, like how we can integrate marketing cloud with any other Salesforce system in the ecosystem. So let's say if you want to integrate marketing cloud and sales cloud, so that we can bring in the Salesforce data or the sales cloud data into marketing cloud. So the use case could be, so let's say we have all these leads stored in our sales cloud, and we want to communicate with them that, last time when we checked, you were interested in purchasing a car. So are you still willing to purchase a new car? We have some offer going on or something like that, right? So what we will do, we will pull all the leads data from the sales cloud to marketing cloud, and then we'll send them the communication. So we will say that how we can integrate two different systems so that we can have a bi-directional flow. So if you want to share the data from marketing cloud to any other Salesforce system, so that is something we can do as well. And then next we have is AMP script. So we have two programming languages. One is AMP script and another one is the SSJS. So AMP script is generally used for the personalization and the data manipulation. That is something we will see that how we can do that. So you must have seen the email messages coming to you in your inbox. So they always have, first name or last name or maybe some kind of personalization, right? So this is how we can personalize the emails. Let me show you. And so let's say you whenever they want to populate or display the mobile number in the email message, so it is not in the it is in the proper format, right? So it has the proper hyphen and the spaces or maybe whatever it is. So it is in the proper format. So if you want to format the data in the email message, so or maybe or if you want to personalize the email message, that is something we can do. So here we have not used any AMP script yet. Yeah, but it says like, first name, last name, and these kind of things. So we'll be learning that how we can use the AMP script. to personalize the emails or to format the data in the email messages. Our next programming language that we have is SSGS. So SSGS is generally used to deal with the external data. So if you want to fetch the data from the external server and we want to store this in our marketing cloud database, so we can use the SSGS. So we also have some other functions in SSGS that we can use. So we'll be learning that how we can use the SSGS to do all those functionalities. And the last but not the least, we have API. So API is application programming interface. So like, what does it mean? So let's say we have another application, an external application, which wants to communicate with Marketing Cloud for the email sending. Now, this external application and this Marketing Cloud is not integrated at all, right? At any level. So they are two different applications. But now, if somebody requests for the password reset, or maybe if somebody places an order on this external website, now this external website wants to use Marketing Cloud to send the communication. So how this external application is going to communicate to this Marketing Cloud tool, that if somebody requests for the password reset or somebody places an order, that Marketing Cloud needs to send the email. So in that case, we are going to see that how we can use the API if we want to have the communication happen between two different systems, right? Without any proper integration or proper integration communication channel. So we have two different API, SOAP API and REST API. So we'll be learning the differences between them and the different use cases in which we can use the SOAP API and in which we can use the REST API. So this was all about the course content, as you know what we're going to learn as part of this course. Okay, let's talk about the email studio then for some time. So in our Gmail application, like the form name is already configured. So we don't basically generally configure it every time, but we need the form address as well if you want to send an email address. Yeah. Sorry, if you want to send an email. So all these things we'll be learning in Email Studio. So in subscribers, you know, we will be learning that how we can store the customer information in the form of a list and data extensions. And we have different types of list and different type of data extensions here. And then we'll be learning that how we can build the content. So in the content tab or maybe in the content builder. So how we can build the content. So once we have these two things, we have the content ready, we have the all the customer information ready. And the next thing is that we need a form address. So in the admin section, we'll be learning that how we can configure a form address so that we can use that while sending the email. Once all these things are done, next thing is that we want to track that whether the communication has been sent or not. So in our Gmail application, we always go to the send tab, right? To check whether the email has been sent successfully or not. Like I always do that just to make sure that it is successfully sent. So we go to the tracking tab and we will understand that how we can track and what are the different tracking parameters that we have. So can we track whether the email was opened by the subscriber or not? Can we track, you know, whether the link was clicked or not by the subscriber in the email? What is the meaning of a subscriber, right? A/B testing. So these things we will be learning in Email Studio. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the subscribers and then we will wrap up the session for today. So a subscriber is a person who has, you know, given us a consent or who has subscribe to a particular communication channel, you know, to receive the communications. So if you're talking about an email subscriber, it means that the person or the customer has subscribed for the email communication. That it means that the customer wants to receive the email communication. So subscriber is a word which is always in the reference of a communication channel. Now, if you will say a mobile subscriber, it means that this customer wants to receive the mobile communication or maybe the SMS messages. So whenever we're talking about a subscriber, so there are two things. One thing is that the person must have given us the consent to receive the communication. Second is when we'll talk about the email subscriber, it means the customer wants to receive only the email communication. And when we'll talk about the mobile subscriber, it means that the customer wants to receive the mobile communication. Now you must have seen whenever we sign up on a website, they have this checkbox, a little checkbox where they say that if you want to, like, I wish to receive the email communication or maybe the SMS messages, and I check that checkbox and then click on maybe submit or register, and then I keep receiving the notifications. Or whenever we apply for a job, right? They say that if you want to receive the job updates, then we have to check that checkbox and then we apply for the job application, and then we receive this job updates, that okay, if they have new opening in their organization, so we receive notifications or something like that. So subscriber means like we cannot send any email notification to anybody who has not given us the consent, right? So it is against the compliance, it is against the rules. So we have to comply the guidelines, we have to comply the rules, and we only have to send the communication to the subscribers. Now, subscriber is someone who has given us the consent or the permission to send them the communication. Okay. So whenever a subscriber word comes, so always imagine this in a two-way. That first is it has to be a we are going to send the communication for a particular communication channel, first point, and the second point is that the person must have given us the consent, then only we are sending them the email. So now we are going to learn that how we can store all these subscribers in different tables. So we have list, we have data extensions and all these things. So there are going to be few terms that you will be that you will come across. So one is the subscriber, another one is the customer, another one is contact. So subscriber, we talked about the communication channel, and then a person who has given us the consent. Now in contact builder, you will see this term called contact, right? So now contact is a person uh, to whom we are sending the communication through any communication channel. So contact, we can say a customer, right? So customer is nothing but a very general term. Uh, you know, it is not related to the communication channel. It is not related to the communication at all. A customer is a very general term in which we can see any person with whom we are having any commercial benefits, right? So that becomes our customer. Now in marketing cloud, when we say a customer, it means okay, we are having this monetary benefits, or maybe we are exchanging some service and goods for the commercial benefits and these kind of things. Now here you will see or come across two different terms very often. One is subscriber and another one is a contact. So subscriber, we talked about that we are sending the communication to them, and it has to be related to a communication channel, a particular communication channel. Now, when we say contact, so contact is any person to whom we are communicating, irrespective of the communication channel. So if we are sending email communication, that is also our contact. So for example, let's say I'm Rahul and I create one contact for me in Marketing Cloud, right? Now, if I'll send email communication, then my email subscriber will be created in Email Studio. So right now I'm still a contact. I have not become a subscriber. It means I have not subscribed to any communication channel, but I'm still their customer, so I am their contact only. We have this phone contacts, right? So we have we have the name and the phone number stored in our phone application in our mobile devices. So that is a contact. So we can also, so when you open this phone application in your mobile device, you can see the different communication um, uh, communication channels. Maybe you can save the email address, you can say save the mobile numbers, right? Different things in a contact, at a contact level. But now we have the different applications where all the contacts will be stored, which are related to the email studio, which are related to the email communication. Okay. So we'll be discussing about all these things in detail, and with some use cases and the examples, then you will understand more better. But for now, let's just keep this in mind about the subscriber. That a subscriber is a person who has given us the consent.